What's up, YouTube? Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm Bobby, aka Bot,
And I'm the Con, aka James.
and together this is.
All right. Well, Bobby, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, yeah. So first off, I've been collecting Transformers since my childhood. My first Transformer I got when I was 7, which was G1 Hound, and I guess at that time there was no such thing as G1; it was all G1. So my adult collection is pretty much centered around G1. I really can't get with the new stuff. The characters don't understand them, don't get them. What about you, James?
So I'm on the other side of the spectrum. My first Transformer, I think I was 4 or 5, and it was the Optimus Primal and Megatron 2-pack, where it's the Gator and the Bat. And that was my first Transformer, my first what's that called? My first foray into collecting. And I grew up with Armada, RID 2001 Beast Wars. So I really like the weird stuff. I didn't get a G1 Optimus Prime till Universe in 2005 or 2006. So my collection is more of a Universe 1.0 mixed with classic characters. It's very eclectic.
Yeah, it sounds like it because I don't know what any of those characters were. I know I stopped collecting when Pretenders started for G1,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of got back into it when Masterpiece started and have been off and on. And then I guess over the last 2 years, I've been fully on. So,
Yes, you definitely have it. And I never
well,
stopped. I've been collecting, like we said, since I was 3 or 4. I'm sure I had, a year when I didn't have a lot of money after college and whatnot, where it kind of did go down, and I was more collecting things here or there, or I was getting gifts. But I like to think I never stopped. I've collected all this lines so far. Now we'll talk about Hasbro later, but that's where it's going. Yeah.
if you can't tell, we definitely have different likes and collections, and that's what this channel is really all about. Each week we have a debate over a few figures that I love, and
And I don't really love, or vice versa. And that's what really is, I think, going to make us interesting and unique, is because you're going to get the old school G1 type of attitude, and then you're going to get me, who's completely different. And the more gaudy and gold and pink it is, I will buy it. So I hope you guys enjoy.
so
And,
it's funny because there's definitely a lot of differences between us. I mean, even from where we live, I'm on the East Coast,
and I'm on the West Coast.
but we actually came together and met at TFcon LA and reconnected at TFcon Chicago. So great things that came out of that.
And Bobby, you want to tell them why you sat at our table?
So yeah, so we actually did a customized class. I thought it was a class to actually build a figure or something like that. Again, totally ignorant to it. And I'm standing in line to go in, and I see James with his wife, who I didn't know was his wife at the time. And I said to myself, if he can get his girl to come to a customization Transformers class, I got to know this guy. So,
And and it just went from there. We started talking at the table, and we said, "Hey, do you have any plans for lunch, Bobby?" My wife is the more extrovert, so she was like, "You got any plans?" And he was like, "No." So we took him out to lunch, and it's history from there.
exactly. So, hopefully, you guys can enjoy James and I's relationship as it pertains to Transformers and kind of what we've been doing just totally on our own, but also together. And let's talk about our hauls from Chicago.
So that's what this episode is going to be about. Our first inaugural episode. We're going to we have a slideshow with all of the different figures that we purchased, and we're going to discuss why we got them, why Bobby might not like my Universe 1.0 Devastator, and we're going to see what we have in store. So we will be right back, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen. All right, guys, welcome back. And to start it off, we're going to start off with Hasbro figures because I thought it'd be a good place to start. And the first one we have up is Bobby.
So this right here, this here, when I saw Hasbro was releasing this, I jumped all over it. This took me back to my kid years, having a Orion Pax and Alpha Trion, totally in on it. Hasbro, take my money.
Yeah, and isolated the alt mode of Alpha Trion because I think they did a really good job with that remold. Now, I'm a little iffy on Hasbro nowadays, but I think that remold is very well done. But I would have bought that, but I do not like that Orion Pax. It doesn't do nothing for me.
And see, that's the thing. I was a little bit, I mean, mine's going to stay in bot mode anyway, but just having, Alpha Trion looking like Alpha Trion that I knew him to look like
Yeah.
was a win for me. All the other Alpha Trions I couldn't connect with, so this is what I wanted from day one.
No, and Scourge, I never would have thought to use Scourge as a base for Alpha Trion, but I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember you saw that and you were so excited. So I'm glad you were able to pick that up. Did you open it yet?
I still haven't opened it. It's actually, and this is all my haul behind me. But yeah, it's right here. So not yet, but I probably will get to that tomorrow. I still have a few other boxes I got to go through.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few.
All right. Anything else you want to say about this, Bobby?
No, I think we can go on to the next one.
Well, this one I have a story for, but it is Universe 1.0 Devastator, which I know Bobby is rolling around in his grave right now. So if you don't know, this is a repaint of the RID 2001 Build King in Devastator colors. And the reason why I say I have a story for this is I actually was going to buy it at about 2008. I found this obscure website. It was probably spam at that time. And I tried to get in contact with the guy to buy it from him. And I heard back once and then I never heard back again. And I was devastated. I mean, I had to be like 14 or 15, maybe a little.
Devastated for Devastator.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I wanted this so bad. And, at TFcon Chicago, the bins were you couldn't get to the bins. And there was one time, I think it was with the Peter Cullen panel, or there was a panel going on where it was a little bit lighter, and I was able to go in and I saw this. I debated for a while because it was a bit pricey for what it was, but at the end, I decided just to get it.
Well, it helps that you have peer pressure from me telling you to buy it.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, yes, exactly. That kind of solidified that I was going to purchase this. But what I really like about this is the variety. I mean, I know Devastator is a tried and true 6-bot combiner, but I think a 4-bot combiner is so unique. And I know you don't know anything about this, Bobby, but the little guy in the front becomes like the head and chest, and all 3 of the backs can either become a leg or the main body. So it's kind of like the whole thing in the show was he switches whatever he needs to do. But I really like the colors. I like how one figure is completely purple. I like, if you look at the group shot, you could see that dark green. And they also have this like lavender color. And I think that's something that Devastators could use a lot for. And the bronze as well. I think if just to add a little bit of color variety, I think that would be a big draw for people like me, just to have that little bit of color variety to the Devastator. So that's what I really like about this figure. And the green clear windows I think are also pretty unique and cool too.
The funny thing is that I actually have the RID one, and so I think that was kind of, again, maybe on the tail end or when I jumped back in for a second of collecting. So I have that, and for them to turn it into Devastator really upset me because I was like, this is not my Devastator, and this is horrible.
So let me tell you the story with these guys. So it's actually like the lore behind these guys is it is actually Build King. And I think it was Megazarak, which I know you don't know who Megazarak is, but Megazarak took them from their dimension, implanted old Constructicon memories and stuff into them, and made a new Devastator that he could control. So that's why they look like this.
Yeah, somebody should have put something in him and controlled him to not make this.
Well, it's hard to control Megazarak, but maybe they did. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. All right, take it away, Bobby.
Yeah, so I needed MP Dirge. I had all the other Seekers and Coneheads, and I was missing on MP Dirge. So going into TFcon, I was actually looking for this, and I found it, and I was really happy that I found it. And I know that they're probably coming out with new molds, but I had the old molds, and this was the only one that I was missing. So I had to get it just to complete it, and I'll probably buy the new molds as well. I know Make Toys has some. I have those as well. But I needed this for my MP collection.
Yep. And I don't have much to say about this. Looks nice. It's a good rendition of Dirge. I don't like the giant knee pads. That's something I've always had an issue with the Takara cone heads. But it looks good. I actually have the Toy World cone heads as my masterpiece cone heads because they're a little bit bigger than the Seekers, and I just think for some reason that works well. Well, let's go on to the next one, which I think is also Bobby. Oh, yes, this one. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So this was actually not planned. It was something on my checklist to eventually get, but when you're walking through the crowd and it stands out on a table that it wasn't at before, meaning that things were getting bought and they started bringing out the inventory from the back, I snatched this up so fast. One, I don't have a Rat Bat in my MP collection. The Sound Blaster is a cool figure. The color wave of that. But really, I hate to say it, I bought it for the Rat Bat, and I'll probably have Sound Blaster next to my Takara Soundwave as well. Even though I have Robot Paradise from Fans Toys as well, I love Soundwave as a character, but I really wanted to complete the tapes as well.
So now this is actually a figure that I have. I got this a long time ago, and it's what I use as Masterpiece Soundwave Sound Blaster. I love black repaints. I don't think, that's anything to deny. So this is what I use, and it doesn't help that it comes with Rat Bat, which is my favorite Cassetticon. So I love this figure. I'm glad you found it. I was very shocked when you said you didn't have it, but I had it. So I think it's a great addition to your collection. And let's see if they do acoustic wave in these colors, because that might be one to make me buy.
Yeah, even though they have a KO of the acoustic wave coming out, which is really surprising. It's a little over $100. I guess the announcement was made a few weeks ago. So I know a lot of people are kind of jumping in on that as well. But I can see Fans Toys coming out with, or Robot Paradise coming out with this color. It'll be very easy.
Yes, and I think that's what's going to. Sorry, everybody, that's my dog. But that's what I think is going to be the defining factors. If they do these colors and they do it well, I'll probably be getting it because I really like on the acoustic. Excuse me, I don't know the exact Fans Toys one, but I like that they gave the toy that you can make it look like the toy as well as the tune, because I'm much more of a toy collector, so I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so I got Decepticon Thrasher from the 2007 movie line. Now, this is a figure I've always wanted. I don't remember ever seeing it actually in what's that called? In stores. It was a Walmart exclusive. I don't remember ever seeing it in stores, but I remember seeing it afterwards, and I always wanted it. This was before they had the third-party Crashers or the new Crasher that's coming out. And I've always liked Decepticon Fembots, and I'm like, I need this figure. And I was never able to get it. And I love the mold. I have this mold as Mirage and Dragstrip, and I needed to complete that. So I ended up picking this up. It was very cheap. It was like $25, which is like cheaper, or is it's retail now. And I absolutely adore it. I love the alt mode. I think it works well. I love the pink face. And I'm very ecstatic to add this to my Fembot collection.
Well, this is one that we're going to have to agree on here. I know this is a debate show, but we're going to actually have to agree on this. I would have picked this up as well. It's funny, as a kid, watching GoBots was terrible in comparison to
It
Transformers.
still isn't good.
And so seeing Crasher on there, and I was like, GoBots is terrible, and this, that, and the other. But now the nostalgia of GoBots creeping back in a little bit. I actually have the KFC Cykill that just came out, and I would jump on a Crasher. And actually, when you grab this out the bin, I was asking you if there was another one, because I
You
probably
did.
would
You
have
did.
grabbed it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love this figure, and I think we're in agreement. And do you have this mold?
I do have the Mirage.
Okay. Everybody complains that it doesn't look like Mirage, but I love
It
it.
doesn't. Not
It
at all.
doesn't look like it, but I love the weird body shape. It makes him more unique. Now, would I use it as my main Mirage? Probably not. But as drag strip and Crasher, it works perfectly.
Drag strip needs 6 wheels. It doesn't work for drag strip. Even
There's a whole story on how they changed bodies, and he had to leave Menasor, and there's a big thing.
yeah. I mean,
You
we're
always
getting
got to
into
make up
divorce.
stories to make it make sense.
Yeah, yeah. This is Marvel Comics all over again. The movies now.
Okay. All right.
Give me my 6 wheels on drag strip.
I agree. The six wheels is very cool. I
Yes.
agree with you. Okay. So let's see. All right. Now, this is another one that I have, but you purchased it.
Yeah, so this is funny. I never watched Victory until this year. And while I wasn't as excited about it, probably because I'm old now, as I was watching G1 as a kid, I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get Star Saber. I did go in on the HasLab Star Saber, so I figured I should definitely go in on an MP. This was something that was also on my list of more so things that I needed to fill out in my collection. I wasn't expecting to see it there. And so when I saw it, once again, I grabbed it. It was, mint in box. So that definitely helped. And the price wasn't too bad. I guess that depends on who you ask.
For what it is, I don't think it was that bad. But this is another figure that I have, like I said, and I absolutely adore. We are not going to be debating about this one either. I think it is such a good figure. The articulation's a little wonky here and there, but I think they did such a good job. I love how the different colors are different plastics, so they don't get scratched with paint, and that's something that modern day Takara can really take a note out of. I love that they retained the Brainmaster gimmick. I love that the shield turns into a stand for the large carrier. Everything about this, the storage, I have no qualms. I bought this when it came out back in 2013 or so, 2014, somewhere around there, and I love it to this day. So I even though he has been replaced with the Planet X version, I love this figure.
The Brainmaster aspect really got me too.
Isn't
I
that
thought that was
cool?
it was really, really cool. And so I like that a lot. The transformation of it is very simplistic.
It's like the G1 toy, which is because the guy who designed the G1 toy, if I'm remembering correctly, again, this was almost 10 years ago, designed this as well. So there was a really good connection, and that's why this one turned out so well, while we had other ones at the same time that weren't the best masterpieces. I remember reading at the time. So yeah.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
good figure.
It's a good figure all around. Sorry. Okay. So now another one of yours.
Yeah, so this was an impulse buy. I can't even lie. Um, and the biggest thing about this one is I really wanted a Slurpee, and we were at the mall that was across the street, and there was a 7-Eleven in the mall. And so I didn't get a Slurpee when I was in there. We don't have 7-Elevens in Atlanta where I'm at. I grew up on 7-Elevens as a kid. And so when I saw this, it was an impulse buy that said, you just were in a 7-Eleven and or you just walked by 7-Eleven and didn't buy anything. Go ahead and buy this. It's a terrible reason, but I did it. And I mean, I have a big Prime collection, MPO1, MP10, MP44, Crazy Colors, Nemesis Prime, Evo, all of those. So this will be joining my Prime collection.
Now, I love this for the same exact reasons you said. It's a wacky repaint that looks a little bit like Ultra Magnus. And just like you, I love 7-Eleven with the Slurpee. It's like I get one at least once a week. And I'm not even joking. So I completely agree with this. This is my favorite Optimus Prime mold, I would say. And it comes with a trailer, and I could just see the Slurpee machines back there. So I completely condone this. And I love that it doubles as a Magnus as well.
Now that would have been really cool to have a Slurpee machine in there.
Yeah, like a roller. Like it could have been roller, but like a Slurpee machine kind of. Okay.
I actually just want a Slurpee.
Okay, so this is one that I got. This is BotCon. I don't know the year. I think it was 2012. Shattered Glass Stepper. So not Ricochet, because Ricochet was already part of it. So this is Stepper, and I honestly got it because one, Stepper Ricochet, I love that version of the Jazz mold. It's my favorite version with the colors, and then they made a Shattered Glass version, and this is my favorite version of this mold. It looks like Halloween incarnate. Halloween is right around the corner at the time of recording this, and I love it. And then I read the little bio card that came with it, and it's actually the little Target Master, Nebulon as they call him, is actually in control, and the Stepper is the marionette. And I absolutely adore that story. I adore him. I adore the colors of it. So I've been looking for this forever, and I found it. I just wish I was able to find a pack rat as well.
And I have absolutely no connection to this at all. The colors are definitely in your favor here. As soon as you mentioned Jazz, my Jazz is a white Porsche. So this was, one of those things that I would walk past and not even think twice about. It doesn't do anything for me or for my collection. But I mean, it looks like a good figure, but definitely wouldn't be something that I would add to my collection.
So this is the best Chug Jazz mold, if you ask me. It's amazing mold. So have it repainted in Halloween colors. I'm so excited to put this out for Halloween. Bobby, why don't you explain this next figure that you picked up?
Yeah, so Cordon, I was actually looking for this one in particular. I have all the other Lamborghini bots, so Spin Out, Alert, Lambor, all the different repaints, Tigertron, Sunstreaker, all those. So this was the last one that I needed. Saw it and immediately grabbed it. Actually, I got this from the same booth that I picked up Dirge and
Star Saber
from. Yeah, so it was just a great a great booth to go by. They had some classic MPs that I was missing, and so just like all the other Lamborghini bots, I mean, the Countach was my favorite car as a kid. So I love the figure, love the paint, love the color. It's very clean. Love the features of the doors opening and the hood opening, which is actually the trunk. But just the whole idea of the Lamborghini Countach as a transformer was always my thing, and that's probably why I hated the Bayverse movies. When I first saw the first one, I was like, what are all these American cars here for? Sideswipe's supposed to be a Lamborghini, so had no idea. But yeah, love this figure. Transformation is great. Again, color scheme, articulation, all that's great for its time.
Yeah, so this is my favorite color of this mold. I actually hated this mold of Sunstreaker when I saw it. It looked so bland and ugly, and I wouldn't have touched it like with a 100-foot pole. But this is the I was actually thinking about picking this version up when it was at retail because I thought, police car, it looks cool. I can repurpose it as another character. It actually looks kind of evil with all the red in its head. But I didn't end up picking it up. But I do think it is a great mold in this color. In the red and the yellow, I think it is too overdone, but the white looks nice.
Oh, James. You gotta I mean, the red and the yellow just go back to, well, and I guess the white too, but that's like Lamborghini
No,
Countach.
and I get it's not the cars, it's the
But
robot.
it's the characters too.
They
There
need
would
to
be
if they had black thighs just to break up that color, that'd be a different story. But that's my opinion. It was just too yellow.
yeah,
The red one looks good though. The red one's not bad, but the yellow when they showed that Sunstreak, I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm not collecting MPs anymore. So
I actually couldn't wait to get the Sunstreaker. I was like,
yeah,
finally, it's out. But yeah, so I mean, I think we're it's debatable in terms of color, but I think as far as the figure itself, I think we're in agreement. I mean, it's a great looking character,
yeah,
um,
exactly. Yep.
and I
I
do
think
agree.
this head
The
sculpt's amazing
the
too. It's
head,
not the same
the,
head sculpt that's on Sunstreaker, right?
it's just in different color,
Oh, it is.
I
Okay.
believe. Yeah. It looks and actually make me want to go get my spin out. I think it's more so of the spin out mold
Because
in different
I think
colors.
there is a
Excuse me.
different head sculpt
Yeah,
too.
it's different. It's the spin out that has the same head scope. But yeah, I agree with you that it does look evil.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I love the figure.
It is a
Still,
good figure. So
yeah, still in the box though. But
uh,
um, yeah, up there.
I give you a few days, and then they'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
All right, and this is another one you picked up.
Yeah, this one. Um, so I
I
have
was
a collection.
I was surprised when you got this. I know it's an alternator, and I know you like the car mode, but a yellow tracks that's on something like I would get.
You are 1000% correct. I literally grabbed this because it was the only alternator that I saw there that I didn't already have.
Which was so weird because in LA there were tons of alternators everywhere, but
Yes,
this was the only one I saw anywhere.
yes, and I think I just grabbed it. Not to mention because I don't see this one all the time.
It
I
is pretty
think
rare and iconic
it is.
too because it's
It's
one of
very rare.
yeah, and it's one of the recolors that is kind of iconic for alternators and vinyl tech.
Yes, exactly. And it was. I keep saying about my list. I actually have a list of figures that I'm looking for. So I keep referring to this list, and this yellow tracks was actually on my list. Now I wasn't
Oh,
looking
really?
for it in Chicago, but since it was there, why not grab it there? It will probably stay in alt mode as I have the true blue tracks on my shelf in robot mode. So be kind of a little, you know, difference there to shake up my cabinet. But I do love tracks as a character, and so that's why I kind of impulsed and splurged on getting this one.
Well, I remember it wasn't too expensive as well, so I don't know if you splurged
It
it.
wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely more affordable than some of the other figures I got. So this was an easy fight.
Now, talking about the mold itself, I actually really enjoy this mold. I have the Ravage. I think it's Battle Ravage, technically.
Yes.
I have that version of this, and I absolutely adore it. The posability, I love how the guns come out of the arms, and that Ravage has a special place in my heart because it's like the Beast Wars Ravage.
I have that figure as well,
Mm-hmm.
the Beast Wars Ravage, and when I got it, I said, "What the hell is this?" And it wasn't until I got the other alternator Ravage, which I believe was a Jaguar,
Yeah,
the
he actually
car,
turned into the cat.
and
Yeah.
he actually turns into the cat that actually brought me back to okay. we're doing a little bit better with the G1 now. But
I never got that one. I always wanted it, but I never ended up getting it.
I actually picked it up earlier this year as well. So I'm actually, yeah, that's still in the box as well. So, but yeah, it is I love the alternators more so for the modern day vehicles, more so than anything. The bot, the bot mode, there's a lot of stuff hanging off and things like that. So they do have a special place in my heart, but more so because of the alt modes.
Yeah.
Then and plus, I have an S2000, and they actually have a couple of S2000s. So that actually made me really love the characters and the figures.
Okay, so for the next figure, so we're done with Hasbro, and I didn't really have a place to put this, so I kind of just put it after Hasbro because it is still official. So why don't you explain what's going on with this, Bobby?
This was definitely an impulse buy. Voltron has been popping up on my radar, whether it's by other YouTubers I follow and seeing them talk about releases of Voltron. I missed out on the Lego Voltron. Voltron was another big part of my childhood, so I jumped at getting this. It was on the table at the
Chosen
Chosen
Prime.
Prime, and yeah, I just threw it in my box of things that I needed to take home with me. So, I don't have a Voltron. I had one as a kid, and the box was really heavy, and which made me think the figures are going to be really heavy. It's a very clean look, not too big, but big enough. I do have to find a place to put it, but I just love Voltron, and so that's why I jumped on it. Not necessarily part of my Transformer collection, but it is robots that transform, so it has a special place for me.
Yeah, and this is I was gonna pick this up, not at the convention, but before, but the price deterred me away because, like you said, it's not Transformers. But I have a special place for Voltron in my heart. I always liked it. I'm a cat person, despite you probably hearing my dog in the background. But I absolutely adore Voltron. If it was a little bit more affordable, I'd probably get it. But I just don't need a masterpiece version Voltron in my collection. But it looks slick. So I can't
Yeah,
wait to see pictures when you open it.
yeah, that will probably get opened tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'll be looking forward to those.